Students, welcome back again and let's learn and discover science with Teacher Chris for the English version. Hello children, welcome back and let's learn and discover science with Teacher Chris for the English version. Here we go, part 2. Interactions between living and non-living components. The second non-living thing is sunlight. The sun is the major source of light and heat energy for all living things on the earth. Will you try to read it also? That's good. Here we go to the next one. Listen as I read it for you. Animals need sunlight to see their surroundings, to catch their prey, and to avoid predators. Some animals bask in the sun to warm up. Okay, so if you're going to look at the picture in here, you can see the cheetahs hunt during daytime. So they needed the sunlight in order for them to see what they wanted to hunt. If animals need sunlight, plants also needed it in order to make their own food. Okay, listen as I read it for you. Plants need sunlight for photosynthesis. In tropical forests, most trees are tall in order to get more sunlight. Other smaller plants adapt by climbing or growing on other big trees. So it means to say that the plants needed sunlight in order for them to live. And at the same time, that sunlight is needed in the process of food making or what we call the photosynthesis.
This is the next one that we have. Living things in water also need sunlight. Corals and algae grow in shallow seawater where sunlight can reach them. So as you can see in here, the picture is having some corals, beautiful and colorful corals. So it says that those corals live in shallow seawater wherein sunlight can reach them. Okay, let me read this one for you. Let's go. However, animals like bats and owls are adapted to live in dark environments. If you're going to see the eyes of the bats and the owls, it's a dark one, and that is a very shiny eyes. Their eyes are being irritated with a very strong sunlight. That's why they like to sleep during the night, the daytime, I mean, and then go and look for food during the daytime. They like living in a dark place.
Okay, this is the third non-living thing that interacts with living things. Air. The air around us supplies oxygen to all the organisms living on land. Animals and plants need oxygen to carry out respiration. So it is needed in breathing. When we breathe in, we take in oxygen. And when we breathe out, we exhale carbon dioxide. Humans or the people needed the oxygen, and the plants also needed the carbon dioxide. Okay, this is another one. Aquatic organisms get dissolved oxygen from the water to respire. Some animals like the mudskippers and this one on the picture, the catfish, are adapted to live in oxygen-deprived water. They can get their oxygen supply from the air. That's why if you can see the mudfish, or I mean the catfish and the mud skippers are going out of the water. They are going on top of the land just to take some air for them to breathe. This is also another living thing that needs sunlight. It is called the mangrove. Mangrove trees have roots adapted to breathe in muddy water. So as you can see on the picture, the mangrove tree is living in a muddy water. Plants also need carbon dioxide in the air to carry out photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide is also produced when animals and plants carry out respiration. So moving air is also known as wind. So as you can see in here, the plants are moving left and right, swaying leaves because of the wind. Plants like rice and corn depend on wind to pollinate their flowers. So the flowers have pollen grains, and then they only, I mean, the plants depend on the wind to transfer the pollen grains from one flower to another. Rice and corn plant produce a lot of pollen grains which are small and light. The pollen grains can be easily blown by wind to land on stigmas. Wind also helps to disperse fruits and seeds. For example, the seeds of dandelion, which have light and fine hair, can be easily blown away by the wind. Okay, look at the picture of the dandelion. This is a very, very light flower. And when the wind blows on it, it could easily be blown into a very, very far place or into another place easily. This is it. Sit to work. Number one, go over the lesson again and practice reading it properly. So you needed to practice reading it properly. If you cannot make it perfect, and then you go over it and then read it again. Read and read and read until you can perfect it. Number two, list down 5 words that you cannot understand and see the translation. So you need to list down 5 words only in your notebook. For example, adapt. Okay, and then that is the translation in Thai. Okay, that's all for today. See you again. Bye-bye.